Shalom, shalom. I want to give the honor and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Put it on spirit through this lesson. When you go into these laws now, this is where we got to stay clean, learn how to stay clean. Okay? We're going to the Leviticus 15th chapter, right? The law of uncleanness and the way you conduct yourself if you become unclean out of your day-to-day life. So this is going to personal hygiene, okay? Personal hygiene is uncleanness, all right? So that's what we gotta learn how to keep the law. Yes, we know when we first come in here, no shrimp, crab, lobsters. Quit breaking the Sabbath day, okay? But remember, it's more in laws than that, okay? So, but like I say, try to give 5-6 laws, commandments, okay? After you 4-5 months, you start repeating that. Okay, man, it's time to take it to the next level, okay? It started getting some more of these laws, okay? Right. But anyway, you should have your Bible, your Apocrypha, okay? Let's go and get into it, okay? All right. I'm kind of up under the weather right now. My sinus, but hey, that don't matter. We finna get this done, most High willing, all right? So let's go to Leviticus 15:1 chapter, okay? All right, Leviticus 15:1, all right? And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying, verse 2, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when any man have a running issue out of his flesh because of his issue, he is unclean. Right. So that's meaning if you have a boil or leisure in your body, that won't stop running, and you will be unclean. So if someone will have a huge boil on his arm and it pop and start running down his arm, and he will be unclean amongst the congregation. So he'd be unclean amongst the congregation, right? Let's get a precept on that, all right? Let's go to Numbers 15:2, okay? And then number 5:2. It's lucky. All right. It's number 5:2, right? Command the children of Israel that they put out of the camp every leper and every one that had an issue, and whosoever is defiled by the dead. Right. So meaning if you have an issue, according to Leviticus 15:2 chapter, a running issue like a boil or lesion running down your arm, and you have to be put out among the camp, the congregation. And if you are amongst the congregation and you are jeopardizing everyone else to be unclean, and the Lord don't dwell in the midst of uncleanness. Right. Verse 3. Both male and female shall ye put out without the camp. Shall ye put them that they defile not their camp in the midst whereof I dwell. So it doesn't so it don't matter if it's a man or a woman, and unclean is unclean, and you have to put them out of there. And unclean things leads to unclean spirits, and unclean spirit cleaves to unclean things, and that is why Babylon is so defiled and in the midst of a unclean nation. And that is why women on women and man on man and everything defiled goes on in Babylon, etc. And that is all the wicked spirits cleaves to this place. And Esau is a clean leprosy, but he is unclean spiritual. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go get some precept on that. All right. Let's go to Revelation 18:22. This is Revelation 18:22. And the voice of harpers and musicians and of pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all. Indeed, and no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more indeed, and the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all indeed. Verse 23. And the light, it's like and the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all indeed. For thy merchants were the great men of the great slacky were the great men of the earth. For by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. Right, meaning all of this music and dancing of this world, and they are luring people in, and it is literally the place of uncleanness and the land of darkness and the sorcery where all nations are deceived and drunk. And the way they deceive by sorcery is a unclean spirit, and the only way you can do sorcery if you have a foul spirit on you, and no righteous spirit is going to allow you to turn water into blood without the Most High, and that would be a unclean spirit, right? So let's go back. Let's go back to Leviticus 15:3. Okay, Leviticus 15:3. All right. And this shall be his uncleanness and his issue, whether his flesh run with his issue or his flesh be stopped it from his issue. It is his uncleanness, right? If you have a boil, a pimple, and if it stopped running or not, you are still unclean, right? Verse 4. Every bed whereon he lighted that had the issue is unclean, and everything whereon he sitteth shall be unclean, and everything that you touch is unclean, right? Verse 5. And whatsoever toucheth his bed shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean unto the evening. Right, meaning, so if you touch something that the brother sit on, and his bed on his or his bed, and bathe yourself and wash your clothes and be unclean unto the evening, at sundown to the next day. That's very important. Okay, it's to the next day. All right. Okay. At sundown, and that in that whole day you will be unclean, and you have to separate yourself from the congregation, and everyone is unclean now. And you can be outside and come in and touch the doorknob, and someone just touched the door before you, and they had a pimple that just popped it, and they were unclean. And when you touch the doorknob, and you are unclean, right? So it's very important. Okay. Say for example, if I am unclean now, so I need to go wash my clothes, take a shower for sundown, boom. So I'm unclean all the way up to sundown tomorrow, right? Right. All right. From sundown. Soon as sundown tomorrow, boom. All right. I'm clean. That makes sense. Anyway, let's get a precept, okay? Let's go to Ephesians 2:8. Ephesians 2:8. All right. For by grace, this is Ephesians 2:8. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourself. It is the gift of Yahweh. Okay, meaning we are saved by grace, so we have time to get right. And now we understand if we have a pimple or lesion, when you have pus pouring out of your arm. And even though we are saved by grace, and we still have to rehearse these righteous acts, and for the Lord can say to us that this man has been studying my laws, and he know what to do. This is what it's all about. I mean, we just got to practice the righteous act. Okay? We got to practice the righteous act. Okay? Let me get a precept on that. Okay? Let's go Judges. 5. I want Judges 5 and 11. Judges 5:11. They that are delivered it from the noise of archers in the place of drawing waters, like there shall they rehearse the righteous acts like of the Lord, even the righteous acts towards the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates. Right. So we got to practice the righteous act. Right. We want to present ourselves in front of the Most High. Okay. All right. Well, all right. Man, I just cut myself. All right. I didn't say, all right, well, I cut myself. Forget that. You know, I ain't worried about that. I don't take a shower. I don't clean my clothes. Right. No, you want to take a shower. You want to take a shower, right? You want to take a shower and wash your clothes and be unclean to the evening, okay? You want to go in front of the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. This man or woman been practicing my laws, okay? Right. It's about practicing the righteous act, okay? That's what it's about. Anyway, let's get back on Leviticus 15:6. All right, let's Leviticus 15:6, okay? And he that sitteth on anything whereon he sat, that had the issue, shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean unto the evening. Right, verse 7. And he that touched the flesh of him that had the issue read that again. Verse 7. And he that touched the flesh of him that had the issue shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean unto the evening. Right. Meaning if you touch this brother and touch his flesh and give him a handshake, and you have to wash your hands and your clothes, and you are unclean unto the evening. And that is why it is important not to be around brothers when you are unclean. And if you are unclean, and tell the brother instead of coming to camp and defiling everyone in the camp, and that is wicked, that you are unclean and coming to camp shaking your brother's hand. Now them brothers unclean. Right. That's not practicing the righteous act. Okay? If I'm unclean, if I'm unclean, you know, hey man, I can't be shaking this brother's hand. Hey man, I'm unclean, brother. I can't be right. No, man, you got to tell your brothers. All right? Your sisters got to tell your sisters, okay? Right. Anyway, can't be coming around like that. You can't be, that's wicked, you know. You coming to camp and shaking some brother's hands. You unclean, ain't saying nothing. Like this the world or something. But anyway, let's get a precept, okay? Let's go to Leviticus 14:46. Leviticus 14:46. Moreover, he that goeth into the house all the while that it is shut up shall be unclean unto the evening. Right, meaning if you go in that man's house while he is unclean, and you have to be shut up until the evening. All right, because you are going to be defiled, just like all the spirits he got on him, and not saying it's a sin to be it's like a sin to be unclean, and you don't want to walk around willing to be unclean, and you have to remove yourself from the congregation and can't gather like you're supposed to with your brethren or the high holy days. And these laws are written for our health and our spiritual growth. Right. Verse 47. And he that lighteth in the house shall wash his clothes, and he that eateth in the house shall wash his clothes. Meaning if you go to this man's house and he invite you over, and you see a boil on his arm, and it is running down his arm, and this is after you have already eaten, before you have seen this boil leaking, and you say to him, I got to go, brother. I didn't know, and let me go take care of myself. And you want to be mindful, and that is not clean. And that is not cleanness. It's if I had a pimple on my neck and it pop open while I'm cooking and it goes in the food and I don't tell anybody, and that will be a sin and wicked and disgusting, right? So that's what it's about, okay? Just practicing the righteous acts, okay? Right. You gotta tell your brother, okay? You see something, right, like that. No, this is unclean, you know? Right. Let's go back to Leviticus 15 and 8. Leviticus 15 and 8. And if he that had the issue spit upon him that is clean, then he shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the evening. Right, meaning if he spit on you, either if he is talking to you and it got on you, and you are going to be unclean until the evening. Right. So that brother unclean, and he just talking, we talking, chopping it up, boom, spit come out of his mouth, hit me. Well, now I'm unclean now. The spit, he's unclean. The spit, right. So you know what to do. You should know what to do. Go take your clothes off, go wash them, all right? Take a shower, be unclean to the evening. When you say the evening, to the next day, following next day, sundown to sundown, a whole day, all right? So it's back to practicing the righteous acts, all right? Okay, let's go to Leviticus 5:1 now. And if a soul sin and heard the voice of swearing and is a witness, whether he has seen or known of it, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity. Right. Meaning if you hear someone swearing and they don't carry that swear through, that's a sin. And if you know someone is doing it and you are bearing his iniquity, meaning you can't say, I am going to keep your secret and take it to the grave with me. But you have to let someone know, for y'all can remove that wickedness. And if you know someone is swearing and don't come through with their word, and they are sinning in Israel. Right. So if they swearing and they ain't, they swearing and they ain't coming through with their word, you can't be like that. Hey man, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm staying out of that. No, man, you gotta say something. Okay? Right. Man, that's wickedness, man. That's right. So we gotta remove all that wickedness, you know what I mean? Away from us, okay? Right, you gotta say something. This ain't the world. It's like, all right, man, they ain't got nothing to do with me, man. Right. No, you gotta say something, bro. Brothers and sisters. Okay, sister, you heard another sister saying something, you gotta say something, okay? Right, brothers, you gotta say something to another brother, all right? All right? This is Leviticus 5:2, okay? Or if a soul touch any unclean thing, whether it be a carcass of an unclean beast, or a carcass of unclean cattle, or the carcass of unclean creeping things, and if it be hidden from him, he also shall be unclean and guilty. So meaning a carcass, meaning a carcass of a dead pig, a dead dog that got shred, or a carcass of any unclean cattle, and also if it be hidden from him, meaning if I know someone who is unclean and touching something, and you know and you didn't tell anybody, and that's a sin. It's and that sin is up on you, and now you are defiled, and you are defiling the camp. And also, if you are at a gravesite, it will make you unclean until the evening. All right, but if you touch the dead body, and you will be unclean for 7 days. And also, we can't be killing bugs, spiders, roaches, flies, etc., with our hands, and we will be unclean for doing that, right? So no, Israel, this ain't the world. You know how we did it? Man, I'm from the country, all right? I did that when I was a kid. Did that right. I can't be doing all that, okay? Can't be doing that, all right? We can't be doing that, all right? so-called Black, Latino, and Native American Seminole Indians. All right. Let's go, preset. Let's go to Numbers 9 and 6. Number 9 and 6. This is Number 9 and 6. And there were certain men who were defiled by the dead body of a man, that they could not keep the Passover on that day. And they came before Moses and before Aaron on that day. Verse 7. And those men said unto him, we are defiled by the dead body of a man, wherefore are we kept back, that we may not offer an offering of the Lord in his appointed season among the children of Israel. Right. Yes, it would be unclean being around a dead body, right? Let's stay in Numbers. Let's go 19 and 11. Numbers 19 and 11. He that touched the dead body of any man shall be unclean 7 days. Okay, 7 days, right? Verse 12. He shall purify himself with it on the 3rd day, and on the 7th day he shall be clean. But if he purify not himself the 3rd day, then the 7th day he shall not be clean. Verse 13. Whosoever touched the dead body of any man that is dead, and purify not himself, defiled the tabernacle of the Lord, and that soul shall be cut off from Israel, because the water of separation was not sprinkled it upon him. He shall be unclean. His uncleanness is yet. His uncleanness is yet upon him. Right. So, meaning the Most High will cut you off from Israel for touching a dead body without purifying himself and defiling the tabernacle of the Lord. Right. So let's verse 14. This is the law. This is the law when a man died in a tent. All that come into the tent and all that is in the tent shall be unclean 7 days. Right. Meaning, so you don't have to physically touch a dead body, and you can be just around the dead body, or someone just dropped dead next to me while we are in the store, and I didn't even touch the dead body, and I will be unclean for 7 days. And that is the law, and it is showing us that we are really unclean, and we need the Lord and be saved by grace. And you can try and keep all the laws at 100%, and a brother can drop dead in front of you, and now you unclean for 7 days. Right. So that's why we need grace. Okay. All right. So we can try to keep the law at 100%, but we can't. Hey. Right. But also with the dead body, if you taking a Nazarite vow and you can't go to funerals or be around dead bodies, and we all need to know this. We all need to know this, brothers and sisters. And sisters should take a Nazarite vow, but you have to shave your head, men and women. And you can't go to funerals, and it doesn't matter if it's your mom, sister, brother, etc. And you separate yourself unto the Lord, and you can't make yourself unclean, and you are holy to the Lord. Right. Let's go to Numbers 6 and 2. Let's talk about the Nazarite vow. Numbers 6 and 2. All right, let's start at number 6 and 2. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when either a man or a woman shall separate themselves to a vow of a Nazarite, to separate themselves unto the Lord. The point is to separate yourself unto the Lord. Right, verse 3. He shall separate himself from wine and strong drink, and shall drink vinegar of wine or vinegar of strong drink, and neither shall he drink any liquor of grapes, nor eat moist grapes or dried. Okay, right. Meaning you can't drink wine or strong drink, and no vinegar of wine or vinegar of strong drinks, or drink any liquor of grapes, or eat moist grapes or dried, and it is vinegar and everything as well. All right. Let's go to verse 4. Verse 4, all the days of his separation shall he eat nothing that is made of the vine tree, from the kernels, even to the husk. Verse 5, all the days of the vow of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head until the days be fulfilled, in the which he separated himself unto the Lord. He shall be holy, and shall let the locks of the hair of his head grow. So no razor can come upon your head, and you have to grow it out. Right. Verse 6. Gotta grow your hair out. Right. So no razor up on it. All right. Verse 6. All the days that he separated himself unto the Lord, he shall come at no dead body. Right. He can't come around any dead bodies, and don't matter what's going on. And also during the Passover, okay, it's required of us to drink wine, okay. But if you are a Nazarite, you have to cut your hair and start your vow all over again. So go some precept. Let's go to Acts 18:18. All right, let's stay on this Nazarite vow. Acts 18:18. Let's see what Paul did. Okay. Let's see if Paul had a Nazarite vow. Okay. Paul from the tribe of Benjamin. All right. This is Acts 18:18. And Paul, after this tarried there yet a good while, and then took his leave of the brethren, and sailed thence into Syria, and with him Priscilla and Aquila, having shorn his head in Centuria, for he had a vow. Right. So having shorn mean he cut it, right? His head in Centuria. So it's telling you that Paul had a Nazarite vow, right? So let's go to 1 Samuel 1:11. 1 Samuel 1:11, all right? Let's stay on this vow, okay? This 1 Samuel 1:11. And she vowed it a vow, and said, O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thy handmaid, and remember me, and not forget thy handmaid, but will give unto thy handmaid a man, child, then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life, and there shall no razor come upon his head. A man child is talking about Samuel, and his mother sanctified him in the womb to be a Nazarite, and to be separated in all of his days of his life. Right. Let's go to Numbers 30:1. All right, number 30:1. It's number 31. And Moses spake unto the heads of the tribes concerning the children of Israel, saying, this is the thing of which the Lord had commanded. All right, verse 2. If a man vow a vow unto the Lord, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceeded out of his mouth. Meaning you are binding your soul to what you said to the Lord, and that is deep, so you can go back on your word. And if the brother or sister take a vow, and they have to go all the way and no backsliding, and go all the way with it to the end. If you take that Nazareth vow, and the Lord will put you to death for that, and the Lord is not going to lie to you, so don't lie to him. And that's plain and simple, right? Let's go back to Leviticus 15:9. All right, so we just gave some precepts, all right, about the vow. Okay, our forefathers took vows back then. Okay, all right, the king is showing you when you take a vow, all right. Leviticus 15:9. All right. Leviticus 15:9. And what saddle soever he rideth upon that had the issue shall be unclean. Verse 10. And whosoever touched it, anything that was under him shall be unclean until the evening. And he that beareth any of those things shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the evening. Meaning, and if you know someone that is unclean, and don't enter into their house. And everyone has a house, and we just sit anywhere in the house, and you might lay down on the floor, or who knows what you would do in your house, and sit down on the counter or the sofa, and somebody else came in and sit down after you, and now they are unclean. Now, by law, you are required to tell them that, hey man, I'm unclean, and you just sit where I just sit at, and you should go home and take care of yourself. You should go take care of yourself. You already know what that is. Or go wash your clothes, all right, and take a shower, all right. Be unclean to the evening, all right. Tell them that, hey man, I'm unclean, and you just sit where I just sit at, and you should go home and take care of yourself and shower and wash your clothes before the evening. And if you don't wash yourself and clean your clothes before the evening, and it is a sin, right? So again, you need to go wash your clothes and take a shower for the evening, all right? And it is a sin, or it's a sin, all right? So right, that's for verse 11. And whosoever, this verse 11, and whosoever he touched it that had the issue and had not rinsed his hands in water, he shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the evening. So if you happen to touch a brother that was unclean, and go wash your hands as soon as you touch him, and don't wait around. And if you wait around and forget, and the evening came around, and you have not washed your hands, and that is a sin. And we all and we also need to repent daily if we forget to wash our hands when we are unclean for the evening, right? Let's go to an apocrypha, Susanna, all right? Okay. Because it's showing that we are clean people, right? All right. Let's show you how our foremothers did, okay? All right. Susanna, I'm on 1 and 12, all right? Because Israel, we clean people. I mean, we learned from Esau. Don't take a bath, don't take a shower for 2 or 3 days. You know what I mean? We learned that crap from them, okay? But we clean people, all right? Right. But anyway, Susanna 1 and 12, okay? Make sure, yeah, Susanna, bear with me. Now I got it. Susanna 1 and 12. Yet they watched it diligently from day to day to see her, okay? And the one, Slunky, and the one said to the other, let us now go home, for it is dinner time. Verse 14. So when they were gone out, they parted the one from the other, and turning back again, they came to the same place. And after that, they had asked it one another the cause. They acknowledged it their lust. Then appointed they a time both together when they might find her alone. Right. So these two elders was lusting over Susanna, and they acknowledged their lust to one another and tried to find Susanna alone, for they can plot against her will. Right. Verse 15. And it fell out as they watched it a fit time. She went in as before with 2 maids only, and she was desired to wash herself in the garden, for it was hot. Right. Susanna washed herself in the garden because it was very hot outside, and we should keep our body clean every day. And just like Susanna was holy woman that kept her body clean. Right. Like I said earlier, is we clean people. We gotta take a shower. We gotta take right. Okay. Let's Leviticus 16:2. Let's Leviticus 16:2. Right. And the Lord said unto Moses, speak unto Aaron thy brother, that he come not at all times into the holy place within the veil before the mercy seat which is upon the ark, that he die not, for I will appear in the cloud upon the mercy seat. Verse 3. Thus shall Aaron come into the holy place with a young bullock for a sin offering, and a ram for a burnt offering. So it's letting you know what to do before Aaron entered it into the holy place. Right. Verse 4. He shall put on the holy linen coat, and he shall have the linen breeches upon his flesh, and shall be girded with a linen girdle, and with the linen mitre shall he be attired. These are holy garments. Holy garments. Therefore shall he wash his flesh in water, and so put them on. Right. Aaron had to wash his body before he went into the holy place, and he couldn't just walk in the next day and put on the holy garment. And that is how we have to be clean as a nation in our linen garment. Right. Let's go to 2 Samuel 11:1. 2 Samuel 11:1. Okay. All right. And it came to pass after the year was expired, at the time when King Slunky, read that again. This is 2 Samuel 11:1. And it came to pass after the year was expired, at the time when kings go forth to battle, that David sent Joab and his servant with him, and all Israel, and they destroyed the children of Ammon, and besieged it Rabbah, Slacky. But David tarried still at Jerusalem. Okay. Verse 2. And it came to pass in an evening time that David arose from off his bed and walked it upon the roof of the king's house, and from the roof he saw a woman washing herself, and the woman was very beautiful to look upon. All right, here's another account. All right, here's another account that we always was washing ourselves, and the woman was washing herself and staying clean, and we bathed in oil, and we all always smelled good, and an image was Slucky and Slucky. And imagine what the temple smelled like when they were burning frankincense and myrrh and candles lit, and we have to get back to it. And Babylon has taken our cleanness away from us, and Esau got us doing and thinking it's okay to shower in a couple of days or brush your teeth and kill an animal and not wash yourself after that. And this the nation that's ruling over us, and Jake run around stinky, and the Most High had our women stinky, and it tells you in Isaiah 3 and 24 chapter, right? Let's go to Ruth 3 and 1. So we're just giving y'all precepts that we took showers, okay? We stayed clean, okay? This Ruth 3 and 1. Then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said unto her, My daughter, shall I not seek a rest for thee, that it may be well with thee? Naomi, it's like Naomi is an Israelite, okay? Naomi is an Israelite, all right? Verse 2. And now, it's not Boaz of our kindred, with whose maiden thou was. Behold, he windowed it slacky barely slacky to night in the threshing floor, right? Verse 3. Wash thyself therefore, and anoint thee, and put thy raiment upon thee, and get thee down to the floor, but make not thyself known unto the man until he shall have done eating and drinking. Right. So meaning Naomi is telling Ruth to wash herself, and it's no telling what Ruth smelled like. All right. Or what was going on. But Naomi told Ruth to wash herself before you go to the kindreds. Go to the kindreds and get you down to the floor, but make not thyself known unto the man until he have done eating and drinking. Meaning telling Ruth to stay in her place. Right. Ruth, she's a Moabite. We are so-called Chinese today, right? Anyway, the concept is, all right, we're keeping ourselves clean, okay? We're keeping ourselves clean, all right? Naomi tell her, Naomi told you, go take a shower. They don't tell you what Ruth is smelling like, okay? Right. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 7 and 3, all right? This is 1 Corinthians 7 and 3. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. Right, meaning so if the husband is ready to have sex and he wants it, and if the woman says she is tired and she can't say no because she has a duty, and likewise the husband to the wife as well. Right. Verse 4. All right. The wife had not power of her own body, but the husband, and likewise also the husband had not power of his own body, but the wife. Meaning we are joined together with one flesh, and it is not about how she feels, and you better give me what I want because I want it. And you can say this to your wife because that's your wife, and however you choose to say it to her, I want it now, or it's go time, or however it fit to say it to your wife, because you are one flesh, right? So you can tell your wife, hey, come on, it's go time, okay? Come on, take care of me. Let's go in this bedroom, okay? Just trying to keep it clean, but y'all know what's going on, right? All right, she got a duty. She got to perform the duty, right? Right. Same concept. You men got to take care of your woman too, all right? Right. So verse 5. Defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourself to fasting and praying, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your incontinency. It's like meaning meaning the only time you are not supposed to have sex with your wife is on the Sabbath day. high holy days, which are Sabbath days, and when you come together in fasting as well. And you can't have sex on the new moon, or buy or sell, because it is a Sabbath day. And you can't have sex on the Passover, because it is a Sabbath day. And also, when you are fasting, and also when you are fasting, them unclean spirit be popping up in your mind and trying to get you to go off by attacking you. And also, if you have a wife, y'all should be fasting together and praying together as well. And it's okay if your wife suggests something righteous, like we should fast together if the spirit come on her and she is your helper. Okay, she's your helper because you are the head of the household. Right. So no having sex on the Sabbath. Okay. All right. No having sex on the Sabbath. No high holy days, the Passover. Okay. You can't be doing that. All right. No having sex when you fasting as well. All right. But let's go some more precepts. Okay. Let's go to Matthew. Let's go to 12 and 43. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. Right, meaning when you fast and pray and you try to get them unclean spirit off of you, and they get off of you, and they will go searching for other people to go hop onto, and spirits transfer. Spirits transfer, and have you been around, and have you been around someone that's angry. Meaning when you fast and pray and you try to get them unclean spirits off of you, and they get off of you, and they will go searching for other people to go hop onto, and spirits transfer, and have you been around someone that's angry, and you walk away angry too, and they say something wrong to you, and you are like, I know he didn't say that to me. And that is them spirits hopping on people. And also the Lord said, can two walk together except they be agreed? Meaning you are sitting down with your cousin that you are not seen in a long time, and now you are cussing or talking about what's going on in the streets, and them spirits are jumping on you, and you have to perceive that. But the world call it peer pressure, and I got peer pressure to talk about the old times. And no, them spirits are hopping on you and let you go a week around your family, and your pants are going to sag. Your attitude will change, etc., and you are going to come back as a new person and defiled with the old man's spirit. Right. So the spirit's gonna hop on you. Okay. You go around your worldly family member, you be in that house. Okay. Be in that house. All right. The spirit's gonna jump on you. All right. So, right. I mean, that's not smart. You be going over in the worldly family. Going over a whole week. Of course, you're gonna start talking that you're gonna be all in that worldly conversation. All type of spirits. Lust, fornication, murder, man, all kind of demons, homosexual, all kind of demons gonna be popping on you. Okay? Right. So, anyway, verse 44. Then he said, I will return into my house from whence I came out, and when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept and garnished it. Meaning that spirit searched it all around and came back to the house that he came from, and it was empty, meaning it wasn't thinking about nothing, and it wasn't meditating on the scripture, and his mind was full of folly. And if you are not thinking about the Lord, then what are you thinking about? Is empty, and it is vain and vanity, and he was found empty. Right. So if you ain't thinking about the scripture, okay, your mind is empty. You thinking about this folly and vanity. Okay. Right. So we gotta constantly think about the scriptures. Okay. Right. You see what he said? The spirit came back. Boom. Okay? The spirit, he searched all around and he came back to that house. He came back to you. Okay? Right. That's 45. Okay? Let's see what's saying 45. All right? Let's see how many did he come. Let's see, did he come back alone? Okay? Let's see that spirit came back alone. All right? This verse 45. Then go did he and take it with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they entered it in and dwelled there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. Right. So meaning it's not talking about just 7 spirits, and it means multiple. Means like it meaning multitudes, and that's like that is a completion number of spirits that comes to you. Now you thinking about lust and hating on your brothers, or adultery, etc., and that is why the Lord said, come together as one, for Satan can't tempt you. And also lust is a heavy demon, and we all go through it, and that's why you come together with your wife and fast. And if you don't have a wife, and you have to come with your brother and fast. Right. Let's go to Matthew 18 and 19. All right. Let's go to the classic, Matthew 18 and 19. Right. Because that lust demon is tough. Okay. They'll pop on you. Right. You know what I mean? Let's have 2 or 3 brothers together. Right. It's like say, hey man, lust demon try to jump me. Boom. I got called 2 or 3 brothers. Hey man, pray for me. Boom. Brothers, do it for me. You know what I mean? Right. Because Satan attack you. All right. Let's go. Matthew. That's 18 and 19. All right. And again I say unto you that if 2 or it's like I'm read that again. Again, I say unto you that if 2 of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven. All right. Meaning, if 2 people come together and we pray for this brother or sister, or for whatever jointed in righteousness, and the Lord said it shall be done. So that is the power of prayer. So the Lord said 2 people together, he is going to do it. Right. Let's go to Jude 4 and 9. This is Jude 4 and 9. Okay. Then every man of Israel cried to Yahweh with great fervency, and with a great vehemency, did they humble their soul. Verse 10. Both they and their wives and their children, and their cattle, and every stranger and hireling, and their servants are brought with the money, put the sackcloth upon their loins. Verse 11. Thus every man and women and little children and the inhabitants of Jerusalem fell before the temple and cast ashes upon their heads and spread out their sackcloth before the face of the Lord. Also they put sackcloth about their altar, about the altar. Verse 12. And cried to the God of Israel, all with one consent, earnestly, that he would not give their children for a prey, and their wives for a spoil, and the cities of their inheritance to destruction, and the sanctuary to profanation and reproach, and for the nations to rejoice at. Right. Verse 13. So Yahweh heard their prayers and looked it upon their affliction, for the people fasted many days in all Judea and Jerusalem before the sanctuary of the Lord Almighty. Right. Meaning just like Matthew 18:19 chapter, two people comes together. Okay, all right, but back to the story. All right, the Lord, it's like the Lord didn't give us for a spore utter destruction, and the Most High heard our afflictions and our fasting. Right, the Most High heard our affliction and our fasting. Right, let's go back to it. Let's get back. Leviticus 15 and 12. Let's go back to it. Bear with me. Leviticus 15 and 12. Okay. Right. So Leviticus 15 and 12. And the vessel of earth that he touched it, which had the issue, shall be broken, and every vessel of wood shall be rinsed in water. Meaning, if you are unclean and you touch a vessel, and the Lord said you have to break it, and that is going into Leviticus 11 and 31 chapter. Okay, let's go to it. Let's go to it. Leviticus 11 and 31 chapter. All right. All right, so Leviticus 11 and 31. These are unclean to you among all that creep, whosoever do touch them, when they be dead, shall be unclean until the evening. Verse 32. And upon whatsoever any of them, when they are dead, do fall, like it shall be unclean, whether it be any vessel of wood or raiment or skin or sack, whatsoever vessel it be, wherein any work is done, it must be put into water, and it shall be unclean until the evening, so it shall be cleansed. Right? Verse 33. And every earthen vessel were into any of them falleth, whatsoever is in it shall be unclean, and ye shall break it. Right, meaning if you have a roach or a bug in your glass that died in it, and you see it, and you can't wash your glass out with soap and water, and you have to destroy that vessel. Right, you can't wash it out. This ain't the world. You just go, all right, that's nothing, let me wash it out, then I'm gonna drink. No, you gotta go. You gotta break it. Okay, gotta destroy it. All right. And that earthly vessel goes for a pot. It goes for a pot, a plate, pan, spoon, fork, bowl. It goes for all that. Okay, all right. So you gotta destroy. You gotta break it, and you have to destroy it. But if a bug die on your clothes, okay, and you can't wash it, right, because it is a raiment or skin, okay, because you can wash your skin or sackcloth or wood, right? So if it's clothes or bug, drop on me right now. I'm in this park, all right? Ain't no big deal, all right? I'm unclean. I don't need to destroy my shirt. Just go wash it and go take a shower before the evening, but be unclean to the evening, okay? You ain't got to destroy it, all right? Or your skin, drop on my skin, all right? Okay? Right, or wood, okay? Right. Basically, for example, you got a wooden cabin, okay? Right, wooden cabin, wooden floor. No, don't destroy it. Let's go clean it up, all right? Right, so if you have a wooden cabin and if a bug happened to die in it and you can't wash it out, but an earthy vessel that made out of a pottery clay bowl has to be destroyed in your house. So, right, so it's a pottery vessel, an earthy vessel, that's pottery clay, a bowl, all right? You got to destroy it, all right? You got to break it. Break it, throw it away, all right? Don't throw it away, break it first, then throw it away, all right? So if you want to stay clean and don't go to anyone's house picking up cups and checking them and to be on the safe side, don't drink out someone's cup in their house. And it's best for you to buy paper plates, and cups are always good to have. Let's get back on it, all right? It's Leviticus 15:30. And when he had, it's like, and when he that had an issue is cleansed it of his issue, then he shall number to himself 7 days for his cleaning, and wash his clothes and bathe his flesh in running water, and shall be clean. Meaning, after that man had a boiled issue running down his arm and had been unclean for 7 days, so he has to separate himself from the congregation for 7 days. And yes, we are still in captivity, and it's going to be hard, but we can't go around and hugging our brothers and sisters and going to camp. So we have to be mindful of that, and don't be shaking people's hands at work when you are unclean. Verse 14. Okay, verse 14. And on the on the 8th day he shall take to him 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, and come before the Lord unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and give them unto the priest. Verse 15. And the priest shall offer them, the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering, and the priest shall make an atonement for him before the Lord for his issue. Meaning, and we don't have to worry about going to the priest now, because we have an everlasting sacrifice, which is Yahweh Shai, okay? And he was our burnt offering. So when everyone is unclean, the Lord went to the Father to cleanse our sin, and wiped it off. He was the ultimate sacrifice for the nation of Israel, right? Verse 16. And if any man see a seed of compilation go out from him, then he shall wash all his flesh in water, and be unclean until the evening. Right. What's the seed of compilation meaning? Your sperm. Okay. You have sperm coming out of you, and you have to wash yourself, and you will be clean until the evening. And also you can have sex, and come to camp. Or if you have sperm on you, and you can't come around brothers or the congregation, right? So you got sperm on you, hey man, you unclean. Okay, you can't come to camp. All right, you can't come to camp. All right. So that's like, say, you got sperm on you, whatever, right? You can't come to camp. Same concept. You can't be having sex, okay? Right. On the Sabbath. You can't be doing that anyway, all right? And you can't be coming to camp because you know you're unclean. Let's go to some precept. Let's go to 1 Samuel 21:2, all right? And David said unto Abimelech the priest, the king had commanded me a business, and has said unto me, let no man know anything of the business whereabout I send thee, and what I have commanded thee, and I have appointed my servants to such and such a place. Right. Verse 3. Now therefore, what is under thy hand, give me 5 loaves of bread in my hand, or what there is present. Verse 4. And the priest answered David and said, there is no common bread under my hand, but there is hallowed bread, if the young men have kept themselves at least from women. Right. They kept themselves away from women. All right. Right. Let's get some precepts. All right. Let's go to Matthew 12:3. It's Matthew 12:3. Okay. But he, it's Matthew 12:3, right? But he said unto them, have ye not read what David did when he was an hungry, and they that were with him? Verse 4. Okay. It's like how he entered it into the house of Yahweh, and did eat the shewbread, which was not lawful for him to eat, neither for them which were with him, but only for the priests. Right. And what is this Matthew 12 and 4th chapter going into? Meaning it's going into the Sabbath day, and taking that shewbread off of the pit, and not being over righteous. And Yahushua is quoting the law. And did you not read what David did? So it was the Sabbath day. Right. Let's go back to 1 Samuel 20. 1 Samuel 21 and 4. This 1 Samuel 21 4. And the priest, and the priest answered David and said, there is no common bread under my hand, but there is hollow bread, if the young men have kept themselves at least from women. Verse 5. And David answered the priest and said unto him, of a truth, women have been kept from us about these 3 days since I came out, and the vessel of the young men are holy, and the bread is in a manner common. Though it were sanctified this day in the vessel. Right. Verse 6. So the priest gave him hollow bread, for there was no bread there, but the shewbread that was taken from before the Lord, to put hot bread in the day when it was taken away. Meaning, so the priest gave him hollow bread, for there was no bread there, meaning quoting the law. And back to the Matthew 12 4th chapter, and the shewbread that was put out for the Sabbath day. And now we have an account that David telling the priest that we have not been around any women for 3 days, and we are clean. And if they have been around women, and this wouldn't happen, and this is for our learning's sake, and they were not around women, and they were not defiled. But if they were sitting around having sex all day, and they wouldn't be able to do all of this. Right. Let's go back to Leviticus 15 and 17. Get back on it. Leviticus 15 and 17. So it's Leviticus 15 and 17. And every garment and every skin whereon is the seed of compilation shall be washed with water, and be unclean until the evening. Meaning, so if you lay down with your wife and you are unclean until the evening, and it is common sense that you have to wash your body, and no, you can't just lay in it and get up and take a shower. And if you happen to do all of this, having sperm on you, and go take a shower before the sun down, for you can cleanse yourself, and you're not in the manner of sin. And if your sheet got sperm on them, and you have to wait until the Sabbath is over to cleanse your sheet, clothes or whatever it touches. Right. So this the deal right here. Okay. Say like if I'm okay. Say for example, if I got unclean on a Sabbath, right? I happen to just bump myself against the wall, boom, and just cut myself, right? I'm unclean. So it's no washing. You can't be washing your clothes, no servile work. So I can't. So you know what I mean? So I can't just go in there and wash my clothes on the Sabbath. Right. Okay. Right. But I can go in there and take a shower. Okay. I can go take a shower. Okay. Then when the sun go down, when the Sabbath open, I go wash my clothes. Okay, if that makes sense. But like say for example, it ain't the Sabbath. Okay, today ain't the Sabbath or Sabbath, so I can just, I can just go wash my clothes and go take a shower. All right, before the sun down, be unclean to the next day. But on a Sabbath day, you happen to get unclean. All right, so you get unclean on a Sabbath day. I cut myself, happened to bump the wall or something, boom, I cut myself. Like, all right, or I can't wash my clothes. I got to put my clothes down. All right, I can still take a shower. Okay, I can go in there and take a shower, but I can't wash my clothes until the sun go down. All right, on the Sabbath day. If that making sense. Okay. So that means your sheet or whatever, you know what I mean? You had a wet dream or something like that, and you happen to have, you know what I mean, compilation come out, the seed come out, you had woke up and like, oh man, I'm unclean. Okay, right. You can go in there and take a shower on a Sabbath, but your clothes, your sheet, no. Just gotta leave it, it's no survive work. So no clean. So soon as the sun down, when the sun out, then start go washing your clothes. But them other days, hey, you take your clothes off, take a shower, all right, before the sun down, okay? Be unclean to the next day. That makes sense, okay? All right. Anyway, let's get some precepts on that, all right? Let's go to Deuteronomy 23:10. Deuteronomy 23:10, okay? If there be among you any man that is not clean by reason of uncleanness, that chances him by night, then shall he go abroad out of the camp. He shall not come within the camp. It's like, meaning a wet dream you had, a sperm coming out of you when you were asleep, and you have to leave the camp. It's like you had to leave the camp area, and you don't want to defile the whole camp, and the Lord isn't going to be in the midst of everyone that is not clean. Right, verse 11. All right, but it shall be when evening cometh on, he shall wash himself with water, and when the sun is down, he shall come into the camp again. Meaning he has to separate himself from everyone for a whole day, and meaning they are in the midst of battle, and you are a strong warrior. It's like, then you still have to get out of there. But if the Lord is with them, and they don't have anything to worry about, right? So it don't matter if you're a strong warrior, you unclean, you gotta get out that camp, okay? Right, you gotta separate yourself, okay, from the congregation. It don't matter you're a strong warrior, you unclean, you gotta get out of there. All right. All right, what we got? Verse 12. Thou shalt have a place also without the camp, whither thou shalt go forth abroad. Meaning you have to have a destination area outside of the camp where the unclean people go, and where you go use the bathroom, and anywhere that would make a camp defiled, and they have to go to that spot. And in the ancient world, they had a refuge city, and say somebody accidentally killed someone, and you have the revenge of blood, then you go to that city and hide out for months at a time, until that person's anger died down. And now you have the defiling spot. You have the defiling spot. And that is what we are calling it now, and it's a defiled spot from the abroad of the camp. And if someone need to use the bathroom, or unclean person, take it outside the camp to defile the spot, right? So you don't want to be, man, your tent right there or whatever, you know what I mean? You don't want to be using the restroom right there, okay? All right, you gotta go outside the camp, man. All right, all right. Most I don't dwell around uncleanness. All right. But anyway, let's get back on. Go back to Leviticus 15 and 18. All right. The woman also with whom man shall lie with seed of compilation, they shall both bathe themselves in water and be unclean unto the evening. Right, meaning the woman has to wash herself as well, and everyone has to wash themselves after they have sex. Right. But anyway, verse 19. Okay. And if a woman have an issue, and her issue in her flesh be blood, that she shall be put apart 7 days, and whosoever touch her shall be unclean until the evening. Right, meaning the woman is on her flower. You know what the flower is? She on her menstruation. Okay, all right. It's that time of the month. All right. All right, and she is bleeding, and she has to separate herself for 7 days. And no, you can't hug your wife when she is on her flower, and can't kiss her or pack her around. She has to separate herself from her husband. Right, so there's no kiss, no hugging for 7 days. Right, all right. It's all about practicing the righteous acts. Okay, right. Okay, let's go to verse 20. Okay, verse 20. And everything that she lied upon her separation shall be unclean. Everything also that she sitteth upon, she be unclean. Okay, meaning you can lay in the bed with your wife while she is on her flower. Okay, so you men, y'all can't lay in the bed with your wife. All right, go on the couch. And for example, if your woman was driving or in the car, she's on her flower, and your car would be unclean to the evening. Your car be unclean to the evening, right? And you can't really wash your car seat like that, but it will be unclean. And for another example, if you and your girl come into camp and she just started her flower, and you have to stay outside the camp for that evening, right? It can happen. You know, you men have wives, you know what I mean? Y'all both y'all going to camp, and she can start her, she come on her flower. All right. So, but hey, guess what? Well, brother, y'all can't go to camp. Okay, y'all gotta turn around. Okay, y'all gotta go handle y'all business. Y'all gotta get cleaned up. Okay, be unclean until the evening. All right. All right. And you have to stay outside the camp for that evening. All right. So right. So also when your wife is on her flower for them 7 days, don't sleep with her. Okay, right, and go sleep on the sofa for them 7 days. Right, so just go sleep on the sofa for them 7 days. Right, all right, because that's for you men got wives. Right, right, just go sleep on the sofa. You know, we gotta practice the righteous act. Right, I mean, that's for the men that got wives. You know what I mean? Hey, you got wives, don't sleep in the bed. Don't go in the bed. Don't sleep in the bed with her, right? Go sleep on the couch, okay? Right, okay? So men like us, hey, but we still got to know this. You know what I mean? I don't have a wife, okay? It came in as truth, all right? A new creature. I don't have a wife, but we still got to practice the righteous act for as we knowing what to do if I did have a wife, okay? All right, let her sleep in the bed, then I'm going on the couch, okay? All right. Anyway, let's move on. Verse 21, okay? And whosoever toucheth her bed shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the evening. Meaning, wash your clothes and take a shower and be unclean for the evening. You know what that means. Y'all already know I should know what that means by now, right? Wash your clothes, take a shower before the sun down. Okay, before sundown, be unclean to the next day. All right, verse 22. And whosoever toucheth anything that she set upon shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean unto the evening. You have to wash your clothes and take a shower and be unclean unto the evening. Right, 23. And if it be on her bed or on anything whereon she sitteth, when he touched it, he shall be unclean unto the evening. Right, meaning Meaning if it's blood on the bed and the husband touch it, and he will be unclean until the evening, and wash your clothes and take a shower. Right. 24. And if any man lie with her at all, and her flour be upon him, he shall be unclean 7 days, and all the bed whereupon he lighted shall be unclean. Meaning, if any man lay with her while she is on her flour, so if you lay with her and have sex, and you have blood on you, and so now you are unclean for 7 days as well, and you might defile the camp, and you can celebrate the high holy days with your brethren as well. Right. Verse 25. And if a woman have an issue of her blood many days out of the time of her separation, or if it run beyond the time of her separation, all the days of the issue of her uncleanness shall be as the days of her separation. She shall be unclean. If your wife is having a extended flour, and usually it is 7 days, but now it is 14 days or 21 days, and if she's still on her flour, and it is still an unclean thing. Right. So it don't matter if she's on her flour, her menstruation, it's time of the month, for 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, all right? She's still unclean, all right? Right. By practicing the righteous act, all right? Let's get a precept, okay? Let's go to Matthew 9 and 19, okay? All right? Because these scriptures are written for our learning, right? Right, let's see what this lady, let's see what she was, when she was bleeding, okay? This is Matthew 9 and 19. And Yahushua arose and followed him, and so did his disciple. Verse 20. And behold, a woman which was diseased with 12 years came behind him, and touched the hem of his garment. Meaning she was bleeding for 12 years on her flour. So that was a disease, and she came from behind him and touched the hem of his garment. Touching the hem of his garment, that the hem mean fringes, okay? Right. So she touched the hem of his garment, right? She was bleeding for 12 years, right? Man. Verse 21. For she said within herself, if I may but touch his garment, I shall be whole. Verse 22. But Yahushua turned him about, and when he saw her, he said, Daughter, be of good comfort. Thy faith have made thee whole. And the woman was made whole from that hour. Right, meaning because her faith was so strong when she touched his garment, and talking about his hem, the fringe of his garment, because she believed it so much that she got healed in that very hour. And the Lord cleansed it. It's like he cleansed her. And imagine you were unclean for 12 years, and what she missed it out with her husband for 12 years. But Yahushua healed her in a hour when she touched his hem of the bottom of his garment, and that made his garment unclean when she touched him. But Yahushua is the law, and he know the law better than we do. Right. So let's go back to Leviticus 15 and 26, okay? This is Leviticus 15 and 26. Every bed whereupon she lighted all the days of her issue shall be unto her as the bed of her separation, and whatsoever she sitteth upon shall be unclean as the uncleanness of her separation. Verse 27. And whosoever toucheth those things shall be unclean, and shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. Verse 28. This verse 28. But if she be cleansed of her issue, then she shall number to herself 7 days, and after that she shall be clean. Meaning after the original 7 days, and that is when she becomes cleansed, and then she numbered it her 7 days to purify it, and then she will be clean. Verse 29. And on the 8th day she shall take unto her 2 turtles or 2 young pigeons, and bring them unto the priest to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Verse 30. And the priest shall offer the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering, and the priest shall make an atonement for her before the Lord for the issue of her uncleanness. Meaning she had to bring whatever she had, turtle or young pigeon, for the offering, right? Verse 31. Thus shall ye separate the children of Israel from their uncleanness, that they die not in their uncleanness when they defile my tabernacle that is among them. Meaning that we do not die from our uncleanness. And when you are unclean, you are acceptable to unclean spirits, or a deaf angel that might come around, for we won't die in our uncleanness. And what is sin? Meaning death. So if you're not following these aspects to stay clean, and you are this close to being put to death, right? Verse 32. Okay, this is the law of him that had an issue, and of him whose seed goeth from him, and is defiled therewith. Verse 33. And of her that is sick of her flowers, and of him that had an issue, of the man, and of the woman, and of him that alighted with her, that is unclean. Right. So we just went through, okay, the Leviticus 15 chapter, okay, the personal hygiene, uncleanness, all right, how to stay clean through your day-to-day life, okay, all right. So it's all about practicing the righteous act, okay. Man, you just can't just get overwhelmed. Let me see you for example. Okay, I'm going to work. I can't be touching that toe now. I'm gonna be unclean. No, man, no, don't be over righteous. Okay, right. But if you know you're unclean, don't be just touching nobody's hand at work. Okay, practice the righteous act. Right. Now you don't need to tell them worldly people when you're unclean. Okay, when you're unclean, to tell them, hey, I'm unclean. No. But your brother in this truth, your brothers and your sister, y'all in the truth. All right, if they come up on me, come up and say, hey, no, brother. Hey, brother, I'm unclean. Right. It's just back practicing the righteous act. Okay, right, and it's true. All right, so that's Leviticus 15 chapter. Write them precepts down. Write it what it means. Go over it. Okay, just keep going over and over. Okay. You so-called Black, Latino, Native American, Seminole Indians, okay, that's already came in this truth, all right, that have been practicing already, practice not breaking the Sabbath, not eating shrimp, crab, and lobster, okay, not smoking weed, smoking cigarettes. Y'all got the 5, 6 laws y'all already kind of got down pat, okay. Now it's time to take it up. Remember, it's over 600 commandments, all right. I'm giving all the praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Shalom.